Welcome back. Story 1. I, 29 female, recently lost my father. My father, 61 male, was paying for my sister, 32 females, college tuition and living expenses while she was a student. She began to fail classes and then dropped out of college. Dad told her that since she was no longer in school, he would not support her financially, but he would help her to find a job, make a budget, etc. She tried to guilt him into giving her money, but he was resilient. She stopped speaking to him over it. We all thought eventually she would come around, but she never did. She spoke to other family members sporadically. I hear from her once or twice a year and see her every couple of years. Dad tried to forge a relationship on many occasions. She never responded. Her attitude towards him was hateful. For example, when he was going to be in her state for business, he asked if they could get together and talk. She posted on Facebook saying, "It's funny how my deadbeat dad wants to talk to me now, but when I needed him to keep myself from starving to death, he didn't care about me." To be clear, he was by no means a deadbeat. When he didn't want to give her money, he was trying to stop enabling her so that she would grow up. She was welcome to his home for a dinner anytime and could have lived with him if she had even made a tiny sliver of effort towards getting a job. Dad died a month ago. He left $100K to each of my sister's kids, who she never allowed him to meet, that they will get when they turn 25. Everything else was left to me. My sister refused to acknowledge his death. However, about a week ago, she sent me a Facebook message demanding to know how much he left behind when he died and when I plan to give her her half. I explained that Dad left everything to me. No, I don't need all the money. But I feel like it isn't fair for her to get a payday off the death of a man she very openly said she hated and said nothing but negative things about. Our extended family is split on this. Some say I should give her some of the money. Others say she doesn't deserve a dime. I'm losing a lot of sleep over this and I don't know whether I'm being fair or being spiteful anymore. I would appreciate any thoughts anyone has about what's right or what my father might have wanted. Edit. To keep it short, I have seen a lawyer. In fact, the firm Dad always used for legal stuff sent all of their senior lawyers to meet with me. They did warn me of the chance that my sister would attempt to come after some money. However, they said Dad expressed that concern before they even made the current draft of his will, and they have protected it as best they can. Everything relating to my sister is heavily documented. He gave a very clear outline of what he wanted in personal writing, and there is no question of his mental state. The will was submitted to the court in our state after it was finished, and they confirmed that the will is valid and no outstanding issues. Even bearing in mind my sister, the lawyers were pretty confident that we do not have an issue. They said that whether to give her some money is a question of my own logic and emotions, and what I want. OP, I believe you are considerate to his wishes. He didn't want her to get hands on the cash. It would make more sense if she had grown up in a way that he would have approved of, but not like this. She only wants her part after ignoring the guy and preventing him from meeting his grandchildren. Clearly, OP's father wanted her to become in shape. Has she done so? Perhaps, OP, you might set away some money in a savings account until she gets her act together. But I wouldn't tell her you're doing it. Simply state that your father distributed the money and assets as he saw fit, including large gifts to her children. Now for some comments. Afraid you'll probably have to cut contact with her too. Won't see her kids much, but oh well. Don't give her anything. Your dad gave her something already, and that is some financial security when the kids are 25. Just tell her that you respect your dad's wishes. I'm losing a lot of sleep over this. If you denied granting your father's dying wishes, then you should lose sleep. But keeping his dying wish should make you rest quite well. I hope her kids turn out alright and she doesn't get her grave robbing hands on their inheritance. Try to keep a relationship with them if possible, or at least if she blocks your access, Let them know that you'll be there if they ever need to reach out. What is your suggestion to OP? I don't know how long you've been on here, but people are called out frequently from being incompetent. I doubt OP's sister could phrase her lifestyle choices in a way that would make anyone think she deserves money. Though Will states all the bad things she has done. So even if she were to come here and ask for help, her chances of getting any money would be slim to none. What OP has here is both factual support and emotional support. Story 2. Due to a recent breakup, I, 20 female, have had to move back in with my mother for a few months while I get a new place together and figure my life out. This has taken me longer than I would have liked, but I work 40 hours a week, currently training for a management job, and I go to school part-time, so my mom has been more than understanding with the given time frame. Most of my belongings are packed up ready to go. After 2.5 months, I have a place and I'm in the process of getting my shit together and moving things from one to another. Now, I could give a shit about any of my clothes, books or knickknacks. The only thing I really care about is my cat, Nala. She has made the move with me from my mom's house to my boyfriend's apartment and back to my mom's house and now to a new soon-to-be apartment. That's a lot for a kitty to go through and get used to all these new surroundings and have to readapt. Now, here's where the problem is. My brother and his girlfriend, both 18, live with my mother. The last few months have been crowded, but we make it work, except my brother's girlfriend, who is spoiled and very used to getting whatever she wants. She fell in love with Nala the minute she saw her. My kitty is beyond adorable, so I brushed it off as nothing. My brother's girlfriend, let's call her Taylor, has a history with cats, taking strays off the street and sneaking them into the house, purposely trying to get female cats pregnant so she could be around kittens, taking kittens from her friends saying she would care for them, then just dumping them off with her mom. There is much more to add to that part, but you get it. The first thing she did that annoyed me was buying Nala new feeding dishes. I was like, okay. Her other ones were basically new and very clean anyway. But I passed it off as more of a, that's really sweet of you, thanks, but you didn't have to do that. She isn't your responsibility, but I appreciate the gesture. She's made a few other purchases for her, including treats, which I tell her not to give her most because it upsets her stomach. Toys, a few Halloween costumes. Nala hates wearing anything. And what really pissed me off, a leash harness. I know some people are into walking their cats, but I do not want my cat being dragged around outside, especially since she's skittish, afraid of cars and strangers. She and my brother think it's funny to watch her flop around on a leash and freak out. Taylor will call Nala her baby and literally baby her. She carries her like a child and tries to hand feed her, all of which makes Nala pretty annoyed, but she was subjected to abuse as a kitten and just takes anything thrown at her. Recently, she's taken to calling herself Nala's mommy and her brother Nala's daddy. What the frick? We have had a few conversations where I overhear things like this. They go as follows. Me. Well, don't get too attached. We're leaving soon. Her. But she loves me. It would destroy her if she left me. Me. Hey, she doesn't like being held like that. Her. You don't know what she likes. Her. Somebody has to pay attention to her and love her. Whenever I see something, I address it. But it's like talking to a toddler and it just ends in frustration and no real understanding. I'll get angry and yell. She'll just play it off and act all cutesy like she couldn't possibly have known she was doing anything wrong, or get visibly upset, teary-eyed, and run to my brother or mom. However, if I'm at work or school, I have no idea what Nala has to deal with. I found out she's taken her on car rides which distress her to no end. But Taylor thinks it's cute when she meows in terror. She's taken her to friends' houses. I came back home and found her locked in their room for the entire morning. She said it's because she likes it in there. The most I've ever freaked out at Taylor was when she came into my room when I was sleeping, picked up Nala, who was also sleeping in her bed, my chair, and carried her off to sleep in her and my brother's bed. I literally think something is wrong with her, but it's just so weird I can't even process it. My brother will not stand up for Nala or to his girlfriend, but that's another story. She has tried to turn my mom against me by saying I ignore Nala. I don't have time for her, don't feed her or change the litter box, none of which are true. I feed her every day, change the litter every other day, and spend most of my time at home with her honestly. No boyfriend and no homework. I know I'm a busy person, but please understand this cat is my best friend. I love her with everything and have had 6 great years with her. I rescued her when she was a kitten from a family that overbreeds animals. There she was huddled at the back of a cage with 6 other kittens in it. She was the only one underfed. Her ears were filled with mites and dirt. Half her face was covered in some kind of overgrown eye booger thing. I burst into tears when I saw her and promised to take care of her and give her a life she deserved. We of course became very attached. She only trusts me and it takes her probably a month or 2 to warm up to people. She used to have separation issues from me and would only eat if she saw me eat. We have grown a lot together and it straight up pisses me off that this girl completely invalidates my relationship with Nala because of my schedule. She says she needs other cat to be around and more attention from people. I know my cat. She is very much a loner and is at her happiest like that. My point is, I know my cat. Taylor does not. What bothers me is that in Taylor's mind, when I leave, Nala won't be coming with me but staying with her new mommy. She is used to getting her way all the time. My brother spoils her and my mom only tolerates her presence because of my brother. My mom has even asked if they could keep the cat because Taylor is so attached to her. She had multiple conversations with her when I'm not home that involve her sobbing over the loss of her. I feel like I'm the opposite of a crazy cat lady. Like I'm some loon, and everyone who is living with me is trying to convince me I don't actually have a cat and that it was theirs all along. I literally don't know what to do. I'm dreading moving out and how everything will unfold because I can promise it will be way more dramatic than it needs to be. Update. I do plan on calling my ex later this afternoon and explaining the situation. It will be weird, but I'm hoping he'll see the gravity of the situation because he too has experienced some of Taylor's antics. Ideally, I would be able to move Nala out Monday while Taylor and my brother are at school. I get out of work early tomorrow and will move my essentials. Property I'm not worried about her ruining. I will post updates later tonight and in a couple days' time. Thank you all for the advice. I'm still torn on the Facebook issue. Yes, a part of me wants to respond to everything she posts with, "Oh, hey, you mean my cat?" But I'm almost positive that a shitfest will ensue from that. Part of me wants to delete and block her, but I'm worried about the online drama that she will cause, which I know she will once I move Nala out. OP, that little bitch is insane. Go get that cat out of there. One of her escapades will result in the death of your cat. OP, check if your ex-boyfriend will take her till you can move out. See if a friend can foster her for a few weeks. Do something quickly, or your cat will die and you will never know what happened. Now for some comments. If anyone took my cat outside or in a car for any reason but an emergency vet appointment, I would lose my mind. I'm overly protective and just thinking of someone doing this to my cat is giving me anxiety. I think you need to talk to your brother and his girlfriend. Be very direct and very blunt. Tell them that Nala is your cat and lay out a list of everything that they cannot do with her. Then if she doesn't stop and you come home and she's taken Nala for a ride or out of the house, call the police and report property theft. It's terrible that pets are only known as property, but it's the law. The police won't pursue charges if you aren't interested, but it will get the message through the psycho cat tormenting ass that you don't screw with another person's pet. This is like the movie Single White Female, but with cat ownership. This chick is crazy and is trying to act like she is your cat's owner to become her owner. Frick all that. Just sit her down and talk with her. Explain Nala is and will always be your cat. That you appreciated the nice gestures she has given to Nala, but that she has to respect you are her owner. Tell her to not lock her up in her room. Tell her to not take your cat from your room while you sleep. Not have her in her car. If she cannot respect that, she cannot have any contact with Nala at all. But I don't know. She seems liable to still cause lots of problems. It's hard to know how to handle crazy sometimes.